Hey, Travis Richardson here. I have got some awesome tips for you to get through the New Year's and your New Year's resolutions and make sure that you stay on track. And they're all about forming habits and all about really staying motivated through the toughest time of the year to do that with all the holidays, the people gathered, and the food and everything else that bombards us. And so here they are. There's 6 of them. The first one is just to really know that it's a myth to say that habits are formed in 21 days. That at the end of 21 days, you really have it on lock and that it can be on autopilot and you don't have to worry about it. There's 2 things wrong with that. The first is that studies show that it actually depends on a lot of things. It depends on you, it depends on the habit you're working on, and it depends on a lot of the environmental factors that are going into it and surrounding you. The second thing is that it takes work to maintain a habit. So just because you've got it, you've got to practice it and you've got to keep up with the steps that you took to make that habit. You got to keep doing those after the 21 days and whatever other time period that you were working in. The second thing is to visualize not necessarily the end of your goal that you want, like at the end of it, but visualize the steps that you take to get there. So what I mean by that is, for instance, when I was an elite athlete in Taekwondo, I always visualized just the right position my body would be in. Just a really subtle movement here, subtle movement there, how I could become a little bit quicker. But I would visualize the components, me working out, me eating the right foods, all these things. And I never once visualized me with my hand risen or rose, whatever. I never visualized that. I always visualized what it took to get there. And it's a little bit backwards than what we were taught, that we should visualize with the end in mind, the thing, feeling, visualizing ourselves 50 pounds lighter or whatever it might be. The truth is that we have to visualize being in the moment and what it takes to get there, and then we get there. And I was a 6-time national Taekwondo champion. I was an Olympic level trained athlete, trained at the U.S. Olympic Training Center for 4 months full time, and traveled and fought internationally. And so it was all because I was always in the moment, always thinking about what it was I needed to do to get to the next level. Third one is goals and quotas. To make sure that you have a big goal for yourself. Don't sell yourself short. You can do anything that you want. You can make your goal as big as you want, and it should be. But you should have also quotas, little micro quotas that you do on a daily basis to get you toward your goal. Those 2 things are huge. And be imaginative, be creative. We find that studies show that the more abstract you can think, the more abstract your goal is, actually the more disciplined you become in obtaining it, because it really excites you, it fires you up. The fourth thing is having a big why. We can't, coaches like myself can't mention this enough. Having a reason for why you want to complete that goal, why you see yourself with making those steps toward your goal, those are important. So make sure you have a big why. It's the biggest thing that you can do. The fifth one is having very concrete, very specific, clear steps for yourself in getting to your goal. And here's the thing that I mean by this. So when I was in computer science, we had these conditional logic statements. They were called if-then statements. So it would say, if variable X was true, then Y, variable Y would happen. Or if something, then this would happen. So what you can do that for you in your own life is to have statements like, if it's lunchtime, I eat vegetables. If it's 8 a.m., I work out. To be very clear, almost robotic, and that kind of creates, well, you're like, wow, that's really boring. But what we find is the people that get the best results are the people that are boring, the people that do the same thing day in and day out, and they just do it because they do it. And that's not a negative thing. That means that they've created a system for themselves that works. So if-then statements, a negation of that would be, if I don't work out, I don't beat myself up. Right? If I screw up and I eat a bunch of stuff I shouldn't, I don't beat myself up. That's an instance of saying, this is true, so this is true, or this is not true. And having a very simple way of doing that is really effective for you. And the other thing is, the last one is reducing the number of options that you have in a day. So what I mean by that is, instead of checking email a million times and maybe social media a million times, do it twice a day. The more you have to have your brain think about, even like, let's say Facebook, posting a like, posting a comment. You have to think about what to say. You have to think about if I like this or not. You have to look and scroll through. All of that depletes your willpower, depletes your energy, and depletes your ability to stay focused on the things that are really important to you. Just remember that your New Year's resolutions are important to you, that becoming that person that you really want to be requires you to not be that person that you were before and do the same kinds of things that you did before. So just know that, and have an awesome 2016. I hope these little 6 tips and habits help you move you forward in the direction that you want. If you need any extra help, you know where I'm at. And also, on that note, please let me know, what are you thinking? Do you like these video logs? Do you want more information? What kind of information do you want? I really appreciate all of your thoughts, your feedback, and you yourself. Thank you so much. Again, Travis Richardson with your tips for the healthy holidays and New Year's resolutions. Bye.